look at the first author. What do we have to do in the first author piece? Okay, thank you, Josh. So we need to have a cite from the text that supports your answer. Okay, what's the second author? Right?
Like the text or article of the author also.
Right, so it's our second additional piece that supports what?
Your general opinion.
Your general answer. Good. And then what's the last me? Callie, what's the last me? That's how we know what? Right. Good. How we know author, text, support our answer. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at the comments I gave you now and read them. And I'm going to give you a sticky note. Please put your name on the sticky note and tell me one thing that you could do to make your yes ma'am better.
I could have used this, man.
Okay, so go ahead and write that down. All right. And that's okay if that's your answer. That's why we're here, so increase your learning. So one thing that you could do to have made your yes ma'am answer better for our primary source. Make sure you put your name also on your sticky note, please. Okay, I'll explain it now. Hang on. All right, once you're done, you notice I passed out another paper to you. Okay? You've looked at the comments. You've looked at your answer to yes, ma'am. You've made a little notation on how you could do better next time. I want you to look at the paper I have in front of you. This is an exemplar. An exemplar is a paper that earned full credit. Okay? So when I graded this one, it was one that got an 8 out of 8. So I want to analyze it so you can see what an 8 out of 8 paper would look like using our yes ma'am strategy. So it's someone from our class, but it doesn't matter. All right, so Teddy told us that the first me was restating the question and providing a general answer. So let's look at the first sentence. Someone read the student's first sentence for me, please. Gage, will you read that, please? That's the question on the first sentence. Okay.
I do not think it was fair for the British to issue the proclamation of 1763 and accept the colonists to have a settled west after the abolition of.
Okay, good. So that's the first me. Did the student do what Teddy told us we needed to do in the first me? Yeah, we have this restatement of the question, and we have the general answer. What was the general answer? That it was not fair. Okay? So based on... that it was not fair. You're right, Natalie. So based on the fact that it's not fair, we need to look at his next two authors and decide, does he have the text evidence that Josh and Brock told us we needed in the second author? And do his evidence support his answer that was not fair? Okay? So look at this next sentence. It says, the text states, the colonists died to take land back from the French and Native Americans, not to give it up. Does he or she have the text evidence? He started off by saying the text states. So we know he's stating from the specific text. And does his author evidence support that it was not fair? Right. How, Natalie?
As you said it.
What did he say specifically? The colonists what?
Die to take land back from French and Native Americans.
Is that unfair?
Pretty much.
Yes, right? And he went further on to say to not give it up. So our first author is correct. Look at the second author. Do we have that text evidence? We have that. Allie, will you read the second author one, please? Yes.
The text also states that the colonies had already planned on migrating west of the border.
Okay, good. Do we have the text evidence there? Yeah, the text also states. And then what was their author evidence? That they already what, Brock?
columnists had already planned on migrating west of this new order.
Order. So was that unfair to ask them not to continue to go west? Yeah. Right? Was it unfair? Some were already there. Right? So is it unfair? Yes. So it supports his answer. Okay? Let's look at the last part, the last me. Okay? Kylie said this is how we know that our author evidences make our answer true. So let's read this one out. Reggie, will you read the last one out for me, please? I know.
I know this is unfair because the colonists aren't getting anything good from this. Only the British was gaining from the proclamation.
So does this wrap up? Does this show how this student knew that the two author evidences support that it's not fair? Yeah, and really kind of brought in some of their personal reflection. Right? I know this is unfair because the colonists aren't getting anything from this. So that's something in that last me that you can kind of always ask yourself. Who's this benefiting? Who is this helping? Is this good? Is this not good? And then wrapping that up into your final me, bringing in that reflective piece. So yeah, it wasn't fair for them. It was only helping the British. So does this example show a yes ma'am?
Yeah.
And do you see why it received an 8 out of 8?
Yeah.
Any questions?
No.
So what I want you to do now, to help you further in your understanding of yes ma'am, is go back to your sticky note, add one more thing that you could do to have made your answer better. One more thing that you could do to have made your yes ma'am better. So reflect on what you wrote and add one more piece. And then what I'm going to ask you to do when you're done is I'm going to give you a chance to rewrite your yes ma'am to make it better, to make you a better learner. So go ahead and take some time, and you can now use the exemplar we've talked about, our quick mini discussion, the two pieces that you've written on the sticky note that you would do if you had a chance to make it better. I'm going to give you the chance to go ahead and make it better. So go ahead somewhere on your primary source document if you have room. You can add your new answer to your yes ma'am, or if you need a piece of paper, I can give you a piece of paper and a piece of paper.